Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Buccaneers Daily. My name is Jackson. I post daily Bucs content, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoy it. Let's try and get 150 likes on today's video as we push for 3,000 subscribers. Appreciate all you guys. Wouldn't be here without you. So we actually just got some news with the Buccaneers. Kenny Young was just released, which leaves a roster spot open. Now, with all the injuries to the defensive backs in this past game, maybe they make a move. Maybe they bump somebody out to the active roster. I'm not quite sure, but I will keep you guys updated. I wanted to put some finishing thoughts on yesterday's win against the Atlanta Falcons because, the Buccaneers controlled 3 straight quarters of this game. There were some questionable penalty, or rather I say no penalty calls. Yeah, you could argue both sides, but up until the fourth quarter, the Bucs were dominating. Tom Brady, I think the number one thing, first off, we know the Buccaneers defense is really good. There are some holes with the rush defense. Wouldn't be surprised if Sue came back to Tampa Bay if that asking price comes down. The Falcons ran for 151 yards, 5 yards a carry, and a touchdown. It's not a concern, but that was really the only luck they had at any point. And it really started to come in the fourth quarter when the Buccaneers offense, which was rolling all day, they didn't get the running game going. And it came back to bite them because Fournette, he finished with 14 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown, which is perfectly fine. But when you're coming into this game, the Buccaneers were the second to worst in rushing yards. So I was thinking they were going to run the ball a lot more, but the issue is, they had 3 straight back-to-back 3-and-out drives? It's not back-to-back. They had back-to-back-to-back 3-and-out drives. So the defense for the fourth quarter all the way up until the end of the game when Tom Brady and the Buccaneers offense sealed the victory, they were out on the field almost the entire fourth quarter. So I don't have any issues. It's Tampa Bay. It's still very hot, and they were just on the field the whole fourth quarter. So I don't have too many worries at all with the rush game. The defensive backs going down, that definitely hurts, but they'll figure it out, man. Good teams still deal with injuries. Every championship team ever has always dealt with injuries. It's just about who steps up. What do they do in the wake of it? We'll still wait and see. None of these seem like any long-term issues. So once again, everything on the defensive front, I'm not worried about at all. Tom Brady throwing for 351 yards, back-to-back 300-yard weeks, that's music to my ears right there. Because that was the critique for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ever since the start of the season. Tom Brady, Buccaneers in week 4 against Kansas City, yes, they had a bunch of yards. They were also down right out of the gate with the opening muff kick return. But it was good to see the offense kind of get back into the swing of things. And now that you have guys like Chris Godwin back healthy, we're still waiting on Julio Jones, but you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin back. We'll have Cameron Brate back relatively soon, and that brings up kind of the next talking point. I loved what Cade Otten did. It was kind of his breakout game. 6 receptions on 7 targets for 43 yards, 7.2 yards per reception. You might look at that statistic if you didn't watch the game and be like, all right, cool, who cares? Well, Cade Otten might be a diamond in the rough. I think it's not Cade Otten's a diamond in the rough in this past year's draft. He's already shown the ability that him and Tom, they're building that chemistry, they're building that rapport, and I think come by the end of the season, as we saw yesterday against Atlanta, I think Cade Otten's going to be a very reliable tight end. Kyle Rudolph came in for 1 possession. It was desperate. It was doggy desperate, and we didn't see him the rest of the day. So the Kyle Rudolph signing seems like a swing and miss. However, he keeps getting all these DNPs. Is it really worth the depth move? Is Gronkowski coming back at any point in the season? There are still very talented tight ends out there on the free agent wire. I like Cameron Brate, though, and I think Cade Otten here really solidified his spot as just, he needs reps. You need to get Cade Otten out on the field. Even when you have a healthy Cameron Brate, Cade Otten needs to be out there on the field getting the reps in. So we'll wait and see with Cameron Brate. But like I said, man, the Kyle Rudolph situation, it definitely hasn't panned out the way I was expecting it to pan out. So that's something to just monitor. The run game, the Buccaneers also have another diamond in the rough in Rachaad White. He had 3 receptions for 28 yards. Another versatility threat. We saw Fournette with 10 receptions, 23 yards. So I like all the checkdowns. I like the short passes. It's Tom Brady's bread and butter. But I want to see that run game more. White only had 14 yards, 2.8 yards per rush. Fournette had 56 yards, but they just never really stuck to the running game. In my opinion, and I think a lot of people, I think everyone would agree with me here, you don't want to be one-dimensional. You definitely don't want to be one-dimensional. Yeah, we have Tom Brady, the best quarterback of all time, but Fournette's a dog, right? We really saw his versatility in full display yesterday, but you got White, you got Fournette. I want to see more than 69 total rushing yards for just 3 yards per rush. That, to me, is not going to win you a championship. It's not going to let you get that far into the playoffs, but it's week 3. It's week 3. So just got to see significant improvement from being the second to worst rushing attack in the NFL once the season goes on. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Bucs content, and I'll see you guys later.